Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to us around the world. Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video featuring Hoopa. Coming through the jungle, yeah, as usual, me, jungle, yep, that's right. Coming through the jungle in a standard game because Hoopa is still not available yet for unlock, for ranked play. I'm close, we're almost there, I'm excited. I should have Hoopa personally unlocked by, give or take, tomorrow, I think, if I'm right. Now, we're playing Hoopa in the jungle, we're running Trick, we're running Shadowball. We're playing a DPS setup, so we have Shell Bell, Muscle Band, and I believe we are running Scope Lens if I recall. Now, we are having fun with this Pokemon, but at the same time, his other ability is still super viable, you know, the Hyperspace Link, the Teleporter, all that is very, very fun. But today we are playing a game in a 5-stack in Standard. I'm build testing Hoopa, we're doing different limits, different build ideas and choices and stuff, to see if I can actually get Hoopa to break 100k consistently with this build setup, you know, with Trick and Shadow Ball, whatever. Now, we'll tell you, Scope Lens on Hoopa is not that great. It's really not. I mean, you get a lot of auto attacks off in between your stuns and stuff. Like right here, I stunned this Charmeleon and, what do you call it, Machoke so many times. I'm able to secure these kills just because they can't fight back. You know how long that stun is? It's almost a second and a half. It's almost 2 seconds as you stun somebody. And think about this. Hoopa, everybody's going to be like, oh gosh, the portal, that's the ability, that's what we're all going to use. Yes, probably 9 out of 10 we might all use the portal. Cool. But I think what a lot of people are just throwing underneath the rug and just skipping over is Trick. Now, I'm going to bring this to light because I think this ability is fantastic. It gives your allies shields, it saves them in clutch situations, it gives them healing on their abilities, their damage for as long as Trick is up. I saved Lucario here in this team fight. Sadly enough, Ninetales gets off an extra auto attack, and my Lucario, you know, he gets killed. It is what it is. But Trick allows you to do things in which you could never do, ever, in Pokemon Unite. You give somebody Trick, they cast your abilities, right? So they will cast Shadow Ball as long as they have Trick on. They will cast Hoopa's other thing if they have that on as well. But the thing is with Shadow Ball, so hear me out. Shadow Ball Trick versus Hyperlink. Hyperlink has mobility, it has utility, it has a lot of things going for it. But in competitive play in serious 5 stacks, you have here, let's say an ideal situation. You got Lucario topside, right? You got Eldegoss, Blissey, Venusaur bot, for instance. You have a jungler, which is i.e. like Talonflame or Cinderace. Who do you take out to incorporate Hoopa on your team? It's a hard choice. But that's the choice a lot of the teams, a lot of us are going to have to make when we start actually, you know, getting teams together and stacks and stuff, because that's the team, those are the teams that are actually running well. It's 1-1-3, right? For instance. Hoopa will take apart or take away maybe Eldegoss, maybe Blissey, for instance. Then you have to form strategies within that team using Hoopa, right? And that's where Hyperspace Link comes into play. That's where Trick comes into play. You cast Trick on Venusaur, he gets movement speed increase. Like, he goes super fast. Like, it increases your movement speed. It gives him more lifesteal on his abilities, like Sustain on top of his Giga Drain, because he already has Giga Drain. There's just so much that Hoopa can provide to a team composition, regardless of what build setup you go with. Hyperlink, yeah, sure, you can swap between lanes. Great. Allows you to secure objectives, allows your team to show up at a different spawn goal. But you also have your Unite move, which, if you know me, playing in the jungle, for instance, the more Pokemon you're farming, the more wild Pokemon you're taking out, the more as you're rotating, the more team fights you're a part of, the faster your Unite charges, because, you know, you're getting kills and all that sort of thing. That also means more mobility for your team, because your Unite move is up, what? When you need to fight these objectives, you pop your Unite move, you get your team on that situation. Hoopa will always have utility no matter which build he takes, but some is going to prefer others. In this case, when it comes to Shadow Ball Trick, like I said, you got to think about it like this. Blastoise just materialized out of nowhere. I have no idea. He just like spawned in. In any case, it's like you have Trick, right? In any team fight situation, especially when you're playing with the Blissey, because again, we're playtesting so many different choices here. Blissey can give you boosted auto attacks, right? That allows your auto attacks to become boosted, and if you hit a target with Shadow Ball, allows you to stun them with your boosted auto attack more frequently. But here's the thing. In a team fight situation, you cast Trick on anybody. It doesn't matter, anyone on your squad. They throw a Shadow Ball. You throw a Shadow Ball. You both throw Shadow Balls. Your Shadow Balls go through enemies. If they're hit with what? Your boosted auto or one of your abilities, i.e. Shadow Ball, they get stunned. So think about this. Venusaur throws a Shadow Ball out. I throw a Shadow Ball out. that target is automatically stunned. Any target behind that target is automatically stunned. Shadow Balls go through the targets, so they can stun multiple times, multiple people at the same time, which, in a sense, is fantastic. You could argue that might even be better at Zapdos. Why? Because you're targeting multiple people with stuns that last almost 2 seconds. That is crazy. You might not think 2 seconds is a long time, but in these type of situations where every minute counts in Pokemon Unite because the game itself is literally on a timer clock, right? That's a lot of stun time, a lot of downtime you can target the right Pokemon with Shadow Balls. Now, there's going to be instances where, like I said, Hyperspace Link is going to be more viable or might be better in, certain team compositions, depending on what item choice you're running with Hoopa. If you're not running a damage setup, you might run supporter-based build like a Focus Band, Buddy Barrier, and like EXP Share. Me personally, I don't necessarily think Buddy Barrier is going to be the way to go on Hoopa. You can use it, but we'll get to it. We'll talk about it, because think about it. We're using Hoopa's Unite move for utility, essentially. Like, you want your teammates to just show up out of nowhere and help secure objectives and that sort of thing. You can't really give Buddy Barrier to anybody if you Unite move and your teammates don't click your portal. You see what I'm saying? Because we're not there yet. So who are you giving Buddy Barrier to? Think of it like that. But either way, I think Hoopa is just going to change the metagame and the way that we play Pokemon Unite. The way we perform with this game. The way team compositions are made. You see how what just happened was? Blissey had Trick on. Garchomp had Trick on. He got hit by 2 Shadow Balls, one from each of us, and he got stunned. This goes through targets, unlike Gengar's Shadow Ball, where it goes through all the Pokemon, but it collides and stops at the first enemy Pokemon hit. Hoopa's does not do that. So think of it like dominoes. You throw in Shadow Balls in a line, you're stunning everybody that you hit in that line when you have multi-Shadow Balls coming in. It's fantastic. And I think that's where Trick versus Hyperlink is going to differ. If you're taking Hyperlink, you get that mobility for your squad. But if you're taking Shadow Balls, you have a better chance of winning a lot of these team fights because you're stunning everybody that you guys are encountering in those team fights. Sadly enough, they do get the Zapdos steal. It's fine. It is what it is. We're dominating this game right now. I don't think it matters whether or not they score, because we're just going to walk up here, we're going to kill the 9 cells. There's 2 in the back line. 2 other enemies are dead. We can take these goals for free because they won't be able to come back and stop us in time. It's just, I think Hoopa, it's just so much fun to play, so good. A lot of different viable build options when it comes to items, and that's weird because not a lot of Pokemon have that. Like, for instance, like Lucario. Everybody and their brother, we all know, score, shield, attack, weight, and then you have your Buddy Barrier, or you got your Focus Band on Lucario. It's always like the same scenario where Venusaur, Buddy Barrier, you got Muscle Band, and then you have Focus Sash. It's the same ordeal. Everyone has like a set build. I love the fact when a new Pokemon comes out, there's so much build testing that gets involved. There's so many build choices that people try out. It's a new Pokemon. We're trying to figure out the Pokemon and how to play it. I love that. I don't like the fact that every Pokemon is just like guaranteed to run these items and these items only. Whereas for me right now, I'm running Shell Bell. I'm running, Amplifier Tome. My bad, Amplifier. That's what we're doing, Amplifier. And then we take Muscle Band. It's just to keep those cooldowns up. That way you can consistently throw out these Shadow Balls in a team fight. It's just nuts. But either way, we're going to dive into game number 2. We're going to see what's going on. I'll see y'all in a second. Actually, I want to show y'all how much healing my Blissey is doing as of late. We are almost bridging the gap at 200k. We're getting there. Some games it'll be like 105, some games it'll be 160. Like, I'm serious. Blissey right now in this metagame with Hoopa is nuts. And we're going to see it more, because I'm going to show you guys something that's going to be pretty interesting when we do duos in the bot lane with Hoopa and Blissey. Like the sustain in team fights. Think about this, man. It's crazy. But either way, I'll see you guys in the next game. Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to others around the world. Welcome back to game number 2. For those of you that didn't make it, this is game number 2 of part 1 of my limit testing choices when it comes to Hoopa. Today we're playing standard in a 5-stack. And there is an enemy Greedent trying to invade me. The same old that we see in Greedents, all over the ranks. Master's rank, whatever. Standard doesn't matter. Greedent will always be Greedent. It's fine. Because my teammate rotates, we come up here, we kill this man for free, and we move on about the day. Either way, Greedent was already done. Like, I could have walked away. We could have just left him because there's nothing here for him to take. I got my jungle bus. We out. It is what it is. I'm level 7. He's level 4. Now, we are playtesting with yours truly, Hoopa, in a 5-stack in the solo in what do you call it, standard games, because we can't play Hoopa in rank just yet. Either way, we're running Shell Bell, we're running Scope Lens, and we're running Muscle Band. Yes, I said Scope Lens. In the previous video, or the previous game, I talk about how I don't think Scope Lens is super viable when it comes to this Pokemon, because he doesn't do that much damage with auto attacks. Again, I'm the type of person that's going to sit here, we're going to build test all sorts of things to try out, get people thoughts and opinions. There's probably a lot of builds out there for some Pokemon I haven't tried, you know what I mean? But I'm always that person that gives you straightforward opinion, straightforward, this is what I think type thing. I'm not going to tell you this is the best way to do this, or this is the best build ever. You know, I'm not that type of person. Y'all know that by watching my content, man. We're here, we're having fun. But I will tell you, Scope Lens does crit on Hoopa's, what do you call it, boosted auto attacks. It does crit when he's inside of his Unbound form on his Unite move. His autos can crit as well, which do AoE, by the way, which is kind of cool, for instance. But I don't think the crit that you get from Hoopa's, you know, auto attack damage is going to add up as much as just going another special attack item or another defensive item type thing. Because when it comes to Hoopa, like I explained in the first gameplay, it's like you're here in that team fight to put Trick on anybody you want in the team and just spam Shadow Balls. You're there to just spam out as much Shadow Balls as you can. That's why I think Shell Bell, Amplifier, and then Muscle Band for get your boosted auto attacks off more is probably going to be the best case scenario when it comes to Trick. The reason why I say that, again, my opinions, the reason why I say that is because it allows you to spam Shadow Ball more often because you have lower cooldown on the ability due to the item choices that you're running. So what does that entail for you? More AoE stuns to the enemy team. Reedon does a lot of damage here, and I did not see the enemy Hoopa in that side of the bottom bush. He just materialized out of nowhere. It is what it is. We tried it. It's fine. I'm trying to get my Machoke to level up. He was so close to leveling up. After that kill, though, he should level up now. That was so close. Either way, we are running a 5-stack in standard. We're having fun. I got teammates on here who are playing different Pokemon than they generally do, or teammates on here who are actually getting so much better. I'm so excited about it because when we actually can sit down and play ranked with Hoopa, there's a lot of build choices I want to do when it comes to team compositions and stuff. Blissey, it's my #1 pick. I want to do we call it a Hoopa Blissey, and then my DPS and bot side. You know, I think between the two of us, we give so much shield, we give so much health sustain and damage between that, because Blissey is basically a giant HP wall. So she is a prime target to give Trick to in team fights, because you're not going to burn Blissey down right away. It's not going to happen. She's basically is HP in your face, like health. You have to focus fire her to get rid of Blissey, essentially. And a lot of people aren't going to generally do that, to be honest with you, in solo queue. Even when you're playing in a 5-stack, you don't always go against, 5 stacks, right? You might play against a duo or a trio type thing, but either way, Blissey is a prime candidate for Trick. It gives her mobility, more mobility, it gives her HP on her damage that she can deal, but also it allows me to sit here and get double Shadow Balls off on anybody I choose, because Blissey is bulky enough to stay alive in those team fights. So giving Trick to any tankier Pokemon allows for more Shadow Balls. See what I'm saying? You can give them to, your DPS or whatever, but that DPS might not survive as long as other people, other team members, which gives more Shadow Balls, more AoE stuns. And I think, like I said before, I think Trick is going to be one of those abilities that's a little bit slept on, because everyone is so excited about the Hyperlink. Everyone is so excited about, I can teleport here and there. It's all fun and games to teleport to different, other lanes, your objectives to show up out of nowhere. It's all fun and games. But here's the downside to the ability. I'm going to tell you straight up. The downside to Hyperlink is this. You're sitting in a 5v5 stack, per se. Like, let's say you're in a group chat with the Discord, all your peoples are here, and you're playing against another team, or you're playing in solo queue. Let's say you're playing, let's do Hoopa in solo queue, for instance. You go out to fight as Zapdos. You drop a portal to try to save your teammates or whatever. And what happens? Other members on your team, they walk into that portal after they Unite move or before they get ready to Unite move, and they go back to base. You lose that team fight. Like, you portaling people because you're trying to be helpful or you're trying to save your teammates might also get you killed, because some of your teammates are probably not going to pay attention to your portals and walk into them and be like, what just happened? Also, fun fact. We were playing a game last night. We were trying to play test with different Hoopa builds and stuff or whatever. I Unite move into the pit as Dragonite. That takes Zapdos, right? And as I'm coming down, I can't see what's happening because it's like there's like a split second when Dragonite's up in the air, you know, you don't see anything, you're coming down. As soon as I came down, I landed on top of a Hoopa portal from one of my teammates that was playing Hoopa, and I literally just instantaneously went back to base. Like, I didn't deal damage to nobody, none of that stuff. I just instantly went back to base. There's a lot of things that people probably don't know yet when it comes to Hoopa. There's a lot of build testing and stuff we actually have to sit here and do. Where there's something I thought about earlier. What if, right, hear me out. Charizard, for instance, seismic tosses somebody with his Unite move. You know how he hits that ground automatically when she picks up a target, he slams them to the ground? What if you do that, right? And you put that portal underneath your ally where Charizard is about to slam, for instance. Let's say it's perfectly timed and all this stuff. Your ally is saved from Charizard, doesn't take damage, goes back to base instantly. Charizard's Unite move basically is just like null and void at that point because, hey, you know what I mean? Like, think about that. Hoopa can bring so many cool scenarios with Hyperlink, but it won't be as consistent as Hyperlink, I think, personally. I think when it comes to Hoopa, you can play Hoopa in lane, you can play him in jungle, it doesn't matter where he is because he will always, no matter what, always be beneficial to your team. Just because of the utility this Pokemon provides. Whether it's Trick or Hyperlink, it doesn't matter, he will always be useful. And that's the good thing about this Pokemon. Since when has a Pokemon shown up in Pokemon Unite that's going to be always useful in every single role that he plays? Or always bring something to his team other than just, hey, I do damage. Hey guys, I'm a DPS. Hey guys, I'm Dragonite. Hey guys, I'm Serena. I do damage. You know what I mean? It's just like Trevenant, for instance. A lot of people wrote that Pokemon off day one. And I get it. He doesn't do damage. Everyone's used to, like I said, doing damage. Trevenant comes in. He has this ridiculous amount of sustain in team fights. He can stay alive at these Zapdos fights. And that's what you want. You want your team to be able to contest for Zapdos to make sure you're there, all this sort of stuff. But you also can do plays like this with Hoopa's Unite move. Being able to go to jungle gives me this opportunity to do that because I'm farming between my lanes, I'm rotating, I'm getting kills, I'm getting my Unite move charged faster. It allows me to do this. Consistently always have my Unite move up for these key portals when I need it. Now, we came up here, we were able to get my teams up here, we get scores in the bot lane. We did everything we needed to do to secure this victory, which is great. But either way, man, this has been another gameplay of Hoopa. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this Pokemon. I'm super excited to bring him to ranked. I'm super excited to try all these new things with the teams that you see here or new members or what have you in the Discord. I'm super stoked. But either way, this has been Pawse Plays. Keep smashing that like button. Come join the Discord. Tell me I suck. It is what it is. We're trying to get my Blissey up to 200k. We hit 160. We'll get there. I'll see you guys in the next video.